After playing Animal Crossing New Horizons for 3 years now, my brain is at that point that no matter what I watch, it immediately goes, this could be cute in Animal Crossing. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Just recently, my friend and I completed an island based on the TV show Once Upon a Time, and building something with reference pictures has probably been one of the most fun experiences so far. So when it came to restarting, one movie immediately came to mind that I would love to recreate. I mean, if you read the title, you probably know where this is going, right? I would like to build an ENCANTO island. Let me share my thoughts, plans, and progress with you today. So usually, I model my resident rep after myself. Not this time though, as of course, that will need to be Mirabel. First things first, character design. I gave her black curls, or as close to curls as I can, and because she's quite the quirky and happy character, I opted for the wide smile and some big and roundish eyes in brown. For the first few days, she got a little makeshift outfit, somewhat close to the original one, and of course her iconic green glasses. And after unlocking custom designs, her outfit was upgraded, and I also made some fitting eyebrows and freckles for her using this tutorial. Introducing Mirabel Material. A must-have area for this island will obviously be the casita, which has to be quite the, hopefully impressive build, possibly even with multiple houses, which in turn means that we need more players on this island. So how about also introducing her sisters Isabela and Luisa? Let's start with Isabela. Her skin tone is a smidge darker compared to Mirabel, and then she's got straight or just slightly wavy hair. This one's not the ideal fit, but since I didn't want to give her bangs, I ended up choosing this style. She often has a judgy facial expression and a general smug and elegant vibe, so wobble mouth and these elegant eyes it is. And I also decided to use the triangle nose for her. To go with the elegant vibes, she then got the long dress, of course. By the way, all the codes I use on this island, including outfits, are on my website, which I will link in the description box and the comments below. And for some finishing touches, I then added the flower to her hair and also made her some eyebrows as well as that beauty spot. I present to you Isabela. And now let's look at Luisa. Her skin is more like Mirabel's once again, but her hair is actually a little lighter compared to her sisters. I gave her the same eyes as Mirabel, but opted for the square nose and the wobble mouth. And for her hairstyle, I chose this ponytail, so it would also have those strands around her face. I gave her a long dress, which also adds those bracelets of hers, and of course also made some eyebrows and freckles for her. There we go, meet Luisa. Now 3 houses is already quite a bit, but I can't really make an Encanto island and not have Abuela, right? So let's add her as well. I did actually, by the way, name her Abuela, even though technically it's Alma, just because everyone always calls her Abuela, you know? I wanted to give her some different eyes this time, so I chose the shape that I personally usually go for in brown. I gave her the wide smile and square nose, and her hair, of course, is gray. As soon as I unlocked it, I gave her the granny style updo that you get from Harriet and her long dress, and I also once again made some eyebrows for her and this time added some wrinkles. Welcome to the island, Abuela. Now that you've met the main players, let me catch you up on the island itself. So we ended up going with this map here and called the island Encanto, of course. Our starters were Rold and Tammy, but truth be told, they won't stay for long. More on that later. And then let's chat about the main areas that I would like to recreate. First and foremost, the casita. My plan is to put together the 4 player houses in a perspective build. Mirabel's house will be the main one here, so it'll be more of a neutral siding along with that turquoise door and a purple roof. Isabela's house will be the one on the right hand side with all those flowers. I never thought that I personally would say this, but unfortunately the pink and purple options are somewhat limited, so we'll actually go for this kind of blushy pink and then add the purple with the door and flower wreath. Abuela's house will be the pink one in the middle with the candle. Again, unfortunately, there's not really a bright pink color like that, so this customization will have to do. And then last but not least, Luisa's house will be the somewhat neutral one on the left, looking like this in the game. Along with these, we'll add medieval building sites, castle walls, and towers, as well as pergolas, and hopefully that'll turn it into somewhat of a house-looking structure. Behind the house, I would then like to try and mimic the mountains with like some cliffs and volcanoes, lots of greenery. And then I don't quite know just yet which of the houses will even be like accessible or how I can really work in some of the interiors, but I definitely would love to recreate some of the rooms that we also get to see in the movie, such as the nursery, Antonio's and Isabela's room, Bruno's room, as well as his hideout, and the kitchen or dining area could also be a really good idea. Next to the casita, of course, we also got the Encanto town itself. For this, there will be lots and lots of colorful houses, especially with some yellow, blue, and pink. There's a plaza, some different stalls such as games, music, and food, and we might even attempt to build a church. Surrounding the Encanto, or surrounding the town, I would like to add a whole bunch of flowers, as well as this cornfield that we see at some point. And I think that working in a bee farm / tree chopping area for Mirabel's dad would probably also be another good filler idea. For the entrance, my idea is to create a diagonal bridge, just like the one that Luisa installed in the movie, with like lots of greenery around it, and probably like some barrels and boxes and covered wagons as well. And then, of course, I definitely want to include that big river where they were given the Encanto, and we'll focus on the version that you see towards the end of the movie, of course, with Abuela and Mirabel reuniting. So there will definitely be lots of pink and yellow and a lot of butterflies. Now let's chat villagers, as I'm sure that you're already trying to picture who I picked. I definitely wanted Antonio and Bruno, as they are super important in the movie, and I feel like Poncho and Murphy might be a good fit. And then I definitely thought of Samson very quickly as a reference to the rats that Bruno lives with. Don't ask me why, but for some reason Bunny immediately gave me Dolores vibes, so I kind of want to have her. And then Bo seems like the perfect Mariano. Of course, I also need to make space for my favorite villager Flurry on this island. And then I thought maybe along with Hamlet, they could represent the noisy and overly excited kids, namely the coffee kid. And for quite a few of the Madrigals, I didn't really have a clear vision for the Animal Crossing villagers, so instead, I will actually opt to have some of Antonio's animal friends for just overall vibes. We'll have Frank as the toucan, Leonardo as the leopard, and then my favorite, Timbra as the annoyed capybara. That's giving same energy, right? We actually already started working on this island a bit. If you'd like to catch up on any of the actual stream mods, I will link my second channel in the description box below. But let me update you on the progress so far. The first thing that I wanted to get done was to find some perfect codes. The most important would be that flagstone path in the town with like some sort of red brick as a sidewalk, as well as the cobblestone brick leading up to the casita. Apart from that, I kind of thought about having a regular dirt path for just like around bridges and the river in the end, and maybe something pink for that big river build. And then we would obviously need a few fillers as well as like potential fabric coats to fit the vibes. The path was definitely a struggle. We tried a lot of different options. Like honestly, just seeing the word brick causes a little bit of trauma, but none of them were really getting close to that flagstone vibe with like irregular brick shapes and the actual color of the Encanto town path. So at some point, my Twitch mod Persephone actually took the movie screenshots, and with the help of the website acpatterns.com, she was able to create 4 different versions that pretty much work perfectly on the light dirt pathing. Once again, all the codes can be found on my website, including this one. There's actually no MA code, but QR codes for this specific path code, along with how to incorporate those. And then for that sidewalk, even though it's not really a perfect match, I decided to go for this path for now, since it also comes with all the needed corner pieces to implement it. And this right here is the choice for the cobblestone brick leading up to the casita. For the dirt path, I chose an option with a few cobblestones along some edges, and this path right here will be used to emphasize the pink in certain areas. Definitely never thought I'd have a path like this on an island, but we'll see. I also found this flower stone, which reminded me of the one in the casita, and 2 rugs that fit the vibes quite well. Some tiles that could be used for interiors, and also this additional fabric code. And of course, we got a good variety of filler coats for now as well. Oh, and also look at this flag code, isn't that cute? Next up, I also decided to actually plan the layout just very roughly, so that on the one hand, I could just explain my vision a little bit better, but also to be able to plan the location of the casita. By the way, if you Google Happy Island Designer, you should be able to find this website in case you ever want to plan any of your maps as well. All right, so the entrance along with the diagonal bridge will just be in the bottom left. The town will then be spread across pretty much the entire width of the island, with the casita somewhere above it, in the middle, or more like top left due to spacing reasons, and the big river will be separated with cliffs and put in the top right corner. First up, I started working on the river that connects the west river mouth all the way to the one in the south, and added that diagonal brick bridge for our entrance build. And then it was time to work on the town layout. Since it would all be kind of flat due to cliff restrictions in Animal Crossing, I just spread them around more or less randomly randomly and paired them so that they would kind of make sense. Antonio and Dolores live closest to the casita since they technically live there, of course. Then we got Bruno still close-ish with Samson the rat nearby. I also paired the two kids together, and then Mariano as well as all the other animals live kind of spread across the town. Plus I also included Nook's Cranny and Abel's sisters here as well. The museum, I think I might just leave on the beach by the entrance where I first placed it without upgrading it at all. And then the campsite will probably also be a beach build. Haven't like fully decided on this one just yet though. And then in order for us to have enough space for the river build, the casita will need to be quite far to the left side after all, which I also already started mapping out. And then here we are. Let me actually just give you a little update tour. So first of all, I will show you the map. This is what it currently looks like. It will be interesting. So as a quick explanation, this part right here is the town part. You know, there's a lot of in-game pathing going on. And then this over here is just a little bit of a tree storage and some code planning. I can show you that in a second. And then up there you can see, yeah, we started the casita as well. Villager-wise, very far along already. I just adopted Leonardo like a few days ago, I think. And the only one who still has to be switched out is Tammy. So yeah, we're almost done with the villager lineup, and then let me quickly show you what we've done so far. Spoiler alert, it's not that much just yet. All right, first of all, of course, we've got that bridge and then the water flowing pretty much all the way to the side there to that river mouth. And then here is the actual bridge that you cross over. Now, I will say there's a lot of space here just going like straight to the back. I will see. I think there might be like maybe a bit more water added somewhere here, like a tiny pond or something like that. But a lot of this will be filler just because that's exactly the way it is in the movie as well. Like there's a lot of greenery going on. It gives me a bunch of like sugarcane vibes also. Like I feel like there will be lots of shrubs and sugarcane as fillers. But yeah, and then you will head on over into the town. It'll be closed off here so that you can't immediately go back here, but you have to kind of venture to the right-hand side. And this, we just started decorating the other day on stream, and it was kind of a struggle. Like it was kind of an adventure and a bit of a journey, but I think it'll be actually kind of fun. Like the houses are super colorful. We'll add a whole bunch of these plants everywhere, and then I'll need to do some like code fixing for the DA upload because this will be a little interesting here and there, but I think once everything blends together and we've got like all the decorations up, you can probably barely notice any of this. Two more things that I just want to quickly mention. Number one, this island will probably be uploaded at the start of June in like 7 a.m. lighting because I feel like that's quite a gorgeous lighting and it kind of fits the vibe of the movie. And then I want to actually have the starter hydrangea shrub. So I'll have to do like a bit of a time traveling hack. And then these will be like the starter flowers, like the green little hydrangeas, which I'm actually very excited about. That looks super, super cute. And then I will do something that's actually not really that common for me. I will do flower clusters. So usually I try to pay attention to not have flowers like next to each other, or also not the same color in like one area. But because of the nature of these flowers, which is basically that Isabella makes them appear, right? They all appear in clusters. So we'll have like clusters of pink and blue and purple predominantly, I think. And then we'll just have like a couple of other colors spread throughout. Oh my gosh, look at Poncho. If that's not Antonio vibes, I don't know. All right, then also to the bottom here, so this is kind of going to be the path in the main town. And then to the bottom here, I just want to add a couple of fillers and that like sugarcane, like corn farm. And I think the tree chopping could be cute there as well. And then I did start layering path, but you'll see in a second, I'm actually not done at this point because it's taking forever. But yeah, we've got Murphy and Samson right here. And then down here, you'll be able to walk to Nook's Cranny. There's a bit of open stuff. I've already started preparing some sugarcane. Here's the river just flowing into the river mouth or into the sea, I guess. And then there we go. Yeah, this is great. It just took me like a little bit, you know. I also, by the way, decided to go for sand so that sometimes I can plant some coconut trees on here. But yeah, so this all will have to be covered in custom pathing. We've got a few more like filler potential areas. And then this right here is Tammy right now, and that will be Frank, I think, is still missing. Frank the bird, because you know the bird can fly very quickly to the casita, so that made sense to kind of, I don't know. We've got Bo living right here, and then here we've got the two little kids, again, pathing going all around. Right, then this here in the middle should be the big plaza, kind of with the different stalls that I told you about. We got Able Sisters over here. This gap is supposed to be the church, maybe, if that fits. I'm not sure how to do that just yet, but possibly the church. And then you're supposed to kind of walk over here, and then it'll morph into like a regular path or like that brick pathing that'll lead you to the casita. Unfortunately, you'll have to go there a little bit differently to the movie. In the movie, you pretty much just walk straight ahead. I can't really do that because Animal Crossing limitations. Yeah, so you'll really do much more of a sideways tracking. We might do like an outdoor dining area depending on how much space we've got here, but a lot of this will still be covered in like cliffs. And just filler things. And then you'll basically walk all over here. These are the codes I told you about. And you will walk up to the casita. Again, unfortunately not 100% like in the movie because I need like a viewing platform, right? It needs to be somewhat of a perspective build, and so there will have to be some sort of cliff in front of it. Now on stream, we did think about whether this should be like another fake building maybe, so I might add like a couple more fake buildings, or this will just be like a natural cliff, we'll see. And then this is kind of the start of the casita so far. I believe that I will try editing this into a video also, you know, and there's obviously like lots and lots of stuff still missing, but this is kind of the start. So like we've already put together the houses. I added that tower. I also added the pergola for the flower vibes maybe. And then there are going to be like coconut trees around it. I feel like we're still going to include a few more castle walls or like medieval building sites. I think actually Isabella's house is a little further back at the minute, but I think I might shift it forward just so I can actually add like another wall just behind there. So it kind of bridges that gap where you see the cliff right there. So this will be interesting for sure. And then, you know, lots of surrounding decorations. Again, like I said, you know, here will be the mountain part. I think that I might want to add a bit more waterscaping maybe, and lots of fillers, as always. And then somehow, I don't know yet if we're going to maybe like carve an opening in the cliff or something, but there will also be a path leading you to the river here in the back. I would love if maybe you could climb up somewhere here. So let's say we'll put like a vine or a ladder to make it a bit more obvious. And then you'd basically walk all the way to the side, and at some point there might be like an opening. Or like you also get this like overview of the river build. So those are the current plans. That's the current state of the island. As you can see, a lot of stuff is still very much like undecided and not done yet, but I think the start so far has been good. It's been really fun. It's been a new experience. I've never really built anything in this color scheme or like this at all. But yeah, I think this might turn into a pretty cool island. So I hope you're excited for this. I will try to maybe upload a couple of decoration videos for this one as well, namely the casita, maybe a little bit more of the entrance stuff. And I think it probably would even be fun to have one video with like the entire island progress. So if that somehow is like possible for me, I might do something like that as well. And that is pretty much where we're at with this island right now. You can also watch an update on my Plan Forever island here. And then thank you so much for watching today. I hope you're excited about this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And then I hope that you have an awesome time until I see you in my next video. Bye everyone.